Dear students, this topic is about our environment. In this chapter, we will learn about the ecosystem, food chain, food web, ecological pyramids, 10% law, biological magnification of harmful chemicals, and then we will study about what happens when we add out waste to the environment and the effects of human activity on the environment, and finally how to manage the garbage. So first let's start with our environment. What is our environment? The immediate surroundings where we live is called our environment. It has two basic components. One is the abiotic component and another is the biotic component. The non-living components of the environment or the physical surroundings are called the abiotic components, like the air, water, soil, sunlight, temperature, etc. The biotic components includes the all living organisms like the plants, animals, microorganisms, fungus, etc. What is ecosystem? Both biotic and abiotic components of the environment are inseparable. They interact with each other and keep a balance in the environment. Thus, in an ecosystem, the living organisms interact with each other for food. Like in a food chain, one organism depends on the other for food. For example, like plants interact with soil to get the essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and other minerals. They also obtain carbon dioxide from air and water. And also they get sun's energy for photosynthesis to produce the complex biomolecules. An ecosystem is an open system which requires a regular input of energy and circulation of matter for its maintenance. Thus, following two basic processes occur continuously in an ecosystem, that are cycling of minerals and the flow of energy. What is cycling of materials? All type of ecosystems have a cyclical exchange of materials between the living and the non-living component. And the flow of energy indicates the energy from the sun is trapped by the green plants into organic compound and it is passed on to the other organisms. Next come types of ecosystem. Ecosystem may be small, say as small as a rotting piece of wood, or as large as a forest or ocean. It may be temporary, like a rain fed pond, or a permanent, like a forest, lake, or ocean. So, on the basis of nature, ecosystems may be of following two types. They are the natural ecosystem and the artificial ecosystem. Natural ecosystem can be terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial occur on land, that is on forest, grassland, and desert, while aquatic ecosystems are found in the water bodies like pond, lake, river, oceans, and estuaries. While the artificial ecosystem are man-made ecosystems that are created and maintained by man, like gardens, park, crop field, aquarium, and orchards. So, what are the components in an ecosystem? There are two main components in an ecosystem. They are the non-living components or the physical components or the abiotic components that include the air, water, soil, etc. While the biotic component of the ecosystem include the living component like the producers, consumers, and the decomposers. Now let's discuss about the various type of biotic component of the ecosystem. Now let's begin with the producers. Autotrophs in an ecosystem are the producers because they produce food for all other members in the ecosystem. So these producers are generally the green plants, the blue-green algae, the cyanobacteria, and some bacteria and minute free-floating phytoplanktons. With the help of chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water, and utilizing sun's energy, they synthesize organic food. During this process of photosynthesis, they release oxygen to the atmosphere. Thus, nutrient and energy enter the living world through the producers. So, the producers trap solar energy and transform into chemical energy in food. Producers from the primary source of energy and the only source of atmospheric oxygen to all living members in the ecosystem. Next come the consumers. Consumers consume food prepared by the producers. All animals, including human beings, belong to the group of consumers. consumers are also called heterotrophs. Now, these consumers are divided into three types or three categories. They are the herbivores, carnivores, and the omnivores. They are categorized on the basis of the food that they take. Herbivores are the animals that feed on plants, and the carnivores are those animals that prey upon other herbivores, and omnivores are the animals that eat both plants as well as animals as food. Now, do the consumers play any role in the ecosystem? Yes, of course. They keep a check on the population of the producers and of different levels of consumers. The scavengers, which are also a part of consumers, they eat bodies of dead animals and keep the environment clean. What's about the decomposers? The microorganisms, mostly the bacteria and the fungi, breaks down the complex organic compounds from the bodies of the dead animals, decaying remains of the plant and fecal matter of animal into simple inorganic substances. These microbes absorb some of the decomposed product and release other products in the environment. These products are utilized by the producers. A very important term here that you will learn, that is transformers. Transformers are a special group of bacteria which disintegrate the simpler organic substance into inorganic form that are suitable for reuse by producers. The decomposers and transformers play a very important role in maintaining the dynamic nature of the ecosystem. Thus, the decomposers play various roles in the ecosystem. They are: the decomposers decompose the dead body of the animals and plant, thus they act as a cleansing agent to the environment. Secondly, they help in recycling of the materials in the biosphere, thus playing a vital role in biogeochemical or nutrient cycle. Do the decomposers play any role in the ecosystem? Yes, of course. Decomposers decompose the bodies of dead animals and plants, thus they act as cleansing agents to the environment. Secondly, they help in recycling of the materials in the biosphere, thus playing a vital role in the biogeochemical cycle or nutrient cycle. And finally, some decomposers maintain the fertility of the soil. If there were no decomposers, the earth would have been a heap of dead organisms. Dear students, this was all about the introductory part of the chapter Our Environment. In the next video, I will discuss about the food chain and food web, as well as the various trophic levels in a food chain and the ecological pyramids.